we're going to talk today. We've been reading the novel Because of Winn-Dixie. And today, boys and girls, we're going to do another story called Amos and Boris. So we're going to read a story and determine the lesson. We're going to compare it with our novel Because of Winn-Dixie. And we're going to ask and answer questions from our read aloud. Okay? So I want you to power out with your partner and tell them what we're going to be doing today.
Comparing, predicting, and asking with similar things and understand and identify answers in the text.
Good job. Now, before we go do our story and we do our picture walk, I'm going to go over some questions for you guys to think about as we are reading the story. Okay, these are questions to ponder. And you see our little whale in the corner, okay? Why do we have the whale? It's going to be a story about a whale. According to pages 1 and 2, how does the author convey that Amos was fascinated by the sea? Give examples from the text. Now, we're not answering the questions right now, boys and girls. We're going over the questions so you'll understand what they're asking, okay? Who knows what the word convey means? Riley?
To show.
To show, or? Okay, is there something else you want to add to that, Brianna? Explain. So it's asking, how does the author explain or show how Amos was fascinated? What does the word fascinated mean? Landon?
Like excited.
Like excited. Nolan?
Like found it very interesting.
Very good. So if we were doing our shades of gray at this moment, where would fascinated go?
At the top.
At the very top, because that is our strongest word. How was Amos and Boris similar to Winn-Dixie? Similar means we're going to do what, guys? Compare. Tell how they're the same. Good job. And the last question, what lesson can we learn from Amos and Boris? Remember, we've talked about lessons that stories teach us. So all they're asking is the lesson that we've learned. So after you've read the book, guys, you're going to be able to know what lesson comes from the story. Okay? All right. So just based on the cover of the story, what kind of story, what kind of genre do you think this is? What kind of genre do you think this is? Gracie? Fiction. Does anyone think this is something else besides a fiction story?
Non-fiction?
Jamie?
Realistic fiction.
Realistic fiction? Okay. Cortavia says non-fiction. So guys, we have 3 different predictions right now. We have fiction, realistic fiction, and non-fiction, just based on our cover. So hopefully, as we do the picture walk, some of the pictures that we see will prove one of y'all correct, and the other ones will prove wrong, okay? Is it okay to have predictions? Yes, because we have not read the story yet, okay? You want to add to that, Brianna?
Non-fiction stories have real pictures.
Okay, does everybody agree with that?
It gives facts and information.
That's true. A non-fiction story. So Cortavia, she's already saying that based on this picture, it looks like to her this is not a real picture. So she's saying that this may not be non-fiction.
Yeah,
do you agree? Gracie, do you agree or disagree?
I agree with Brianna. It does look like a drawing.
Okay, it looks like a drawing. Okay. Well, let's continue to see who is correct in our prediction, okay? Let's continue on. Now, what do we see?
Building a boat.
Building a boat. So, do the pictures say anything else to you? Do you see any realistic pictures in here? Do you see?
Yeah, because
Oh, Anna said something very interesting. How can a mouse build a boat?
A
So which genre, Anna, which genre would that go to? Fiction. So does it debunk Jamie's theory that this may be a realistic fiction? Maybe, right? Because realistic means what, guys?
It could happen.
It could happen. So Anna's saying that a rat cannot build a boat. Do y'all agree on that? Do we agree a rat cannot build a boat?
You
Huh?
still have to look through the story.
They're very good. We're not finished, Jamie says, so we need to continue on. Okay, now what do we see? Jamie said he predicted that the rat would go find something. Is his prediction correct?
Yeah.
Yes?
How can elephants be on a beach?
That's a good question, Stevie. How can elephants be on the beach? Maybe there's a jungle or a circus nearby,
Live in that
okay?
castle?
Maybe he lived in the castle that you see up there, okay?
Maybe them elephants are like workers to people so they can help the people out.
Okay.
Or they might
Like maids or butlers.
Or there
Okay.
might be a cave on the other side of that rock.
And then finally, what happens? Do we see? They were able to push the whale in the water. Very good. And then at the end of the story, you see what?
The whale is in the
The whale is back in the
on
water.
the elephant and the whale looks like he's drinking water.
Very good. Now, guys, we just did a picture walk of our story, Amos and Boris. And before we begin, you guys made predictions. So, Gracie said this was fiction. Cortavia said maybe it's nonfiction. And Jamie said it was realistic fiction. So we just did a picture walk. So only based on the picture walk, looking at the pictures, what do we all agree on now, Nolan? Raise your hand if you agree this is fiction. Okay? Now give me a reason why you think that, Taylor. You can tag somebody to help you. Brianna?
A mouse can't build a boat.
Okay, a mouse cannot build a boat. So she is proving, she is doing, based on what I read, I know this is fiction because a mouse cannot build a boat. Okay. Now we're going to read the story, okay? We're going to read our story. They became the closest possible friends. They told each other about their lives, their ambitions. They shared their deepest secrets with each other. The whale was very curious about life on land and was sorry that he could never experience it. Amos was fascinated by the whale's accounts of what went on deep under the sea. Amos sometimes enjoyed running up and down on the whale's back for exercise. When he was hungry, he ate plankton. The only thing he missed was fresh, unsalty water. Now, boys and girls, based on this page, what is happening to the characters at this point in the story? What is going on? They are developing a what?
Friendship.
A friendship. And that's what they did, boys and girls. Do you think this is a likely friendship or unlikely friendship?
Unlikely.
Why do you think that? Why do you
A
think
rat
that?
and a whale can't be friends.
Okay, a rat and a whale can't be friends. Dylan?
A rat is like a land animal and a whale is a water.
Okay, that's a good reason. So guys, now that we have finished the story of Amos and Boris, now that we have finished, we're going to rotate home quickly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Now what I want us to do now, we talked about those questions that we had and that we're going to answer. So now I want you to third grade assemble quickly. All right, good job. Now, before we go to the board and we write our answers down, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to work with your groups, to work with your partners, to come up with good answers for you guys to go up on the board, okay? So we're going to do these questions. You're going to have 5 minutes. I'm going to set the timer. You're going to work with your group, and I'm going to walk around and listen and try to give you some pointers, okay?
Next one has to
They have to work
started on pages 13 and 19. How would you describe Boris? Remember, dig deeper. Give examples to back it up. So, go to page 13.
How would you explain that? You have to do what? Back it up. And remember our writing prompts over there, okay? Remember, based on what I read or on page or the author said.
A whale and a mouse cannot be friends, and it is unlikely for a dog and a girl to be friends.
Could a mouse fly microphone?
What lesson can we learn from Amos and Boris?
We had 40
That's our lesson, actually.
Amos and Boris, I learned.
Jeffrey, listen to your partners.
I said that I learned Amos and Boris that you can always make.
Okay, do y'all agree with that? That's a good answer. Write that down. All right, guys, according to our timer, time is up. So now it's time for us, guys, to go to our paper, and we're going to write what we said on our discussion paper.
You alright, both of them?
Yes.
Friendship.
What's the problem?
Okay, once you're done, you may have a seat. Okay, y'all may sit down. I'm going to back up in a minute and you're going to
Where's the rest?
Are y'all finished? Focus, focus.
Everybody focus!
Alright, now that everyone is finished, you're going to present your findings. Good job. Y'all give them a hand clap. Okay, this group, come out please. Who did this one? Come on up, Jamie's group. Compare how Amos and Boris was similar to Because of Winn-Dixie. What did y'all say, Jamie?
Based on what I read,
Yay! Thank you, Jamie.
unlikely friendships because a mouse and a whale cannot be friends, and it is unlikely for a girl and a dog to be best friends.
We learned that you can always make a friend even if you're really different. We also learned to never give up.
Okay, so they learned, this is a good lesson for us to learn, guys. How can we relate this lesson to your life? How could you, okay, friends help each other, but look at their answer. We learned that you can always make a friend even if you're different. How can we relate that to your life now? How can we be friends with someone different?
You can be like 5 years old and have a 12-year-old friend.
Okay, any more examples?
Age doesn't matter in friendship.
Age doesn't matter in friendship. To wrap up our lesson today, guys, we have did a picture walk of our story. We have read our story, Amos and Boris, and we compared it with our novel that we're reading, Because of Winn-Dixie. Now, I'm going to come around and give you an exit ticket, and you guys are going to write down either a question or something that you learned from our lesson today. And in the morning, we're going to discuss it during your bell ringer. Once you are done, guys, you may stick it on the door. What you want to write?